Something isn't adding up with the United States and the amount of money taxpayers are being asked to put up for the war in Ukraine. Since the beginning of the war, we've seen gas prices rise, food prices rise, and the amount of money Washington, D.C. lawmakers want to give from taxpayer money rise. Originally, the United States committed to $13.5 billion, and Congress passed this faster than any bill I've ever seen since covering politics. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has committed to the president of Ukraine any amount of money needed in order to beat Putin and win the war. Just 5 days ago, President Biden asked for $33 billion more of taxpayer money in order to beat Putin and Putin's inflation. But here's what isn't adding up. According to reports, Congress, the president, and even the Pentagon, they've only used $3 billion of the $13.5 billion that they already got approval to set aside. And yet now they're saying we need another $33 billion to win this war, and that $33 billion will only cover 5 months of fighting in Ukraine. It's like they're just burning through taxpayer money. Here's the other unsettling information I'm uncovering. Lawmakers, the White House and the Pentagon say they have no idea where the weapons and the money goes once it leaves the United States. So they want all of this money, yet they acknowledge they have no idea where the money and the weapons are going or how they're being used, how they're being spent. So they are approving vast sums of taxpayer money, and there's no tracking and no accountability on how it's being used or spent. Only more dollars printed and more national debt that you and I will have to pay back at some point in the future. So why does the U.S. government need another $33 billion to fight a war they admit they don't know how this money is being spent? Why does the U.S. government need another $33 billion when they've only used 22% of the already approved $13.5 billion? And why is the United States saying that they've frozen close to $30 billion in assets from President Vladimir Putin and then not use Putin's money and assets to pay to fight Putin? Use his money against him. But no. They say we need more money from the American taxpayers in order to fund wars and fight corruption around the world. And yet there's corruption right here at home. Where is this money going? How is this money being spent? The answer is we don't know. This same thing happened. Remember, under Bush, Rumsfeld came forward and said, we cannot account for $2 trillion of spending. It's like, they just have a constant printing machine, but no accountability. And it's our money. And then it makes inflation even worse. Because the more you print, the more it inflates the currency. Now, we spent $2.3 trillion in Afghanistan. And for what? We then left them $85 billion of military equipment that could be getting used in Ukraine without printing another dollar. Now, I'm not saying that fighting for freedom is wrong, so don't let that be your takeaway. I'm also not saying that supporting and fighting for Ukraine is wrong. I'm simply asking as a taxpayer, why are taxpayers like you and me being asked to put up so much money when it's not being tracked or accounted for? And why do they need another $33 billion when they still have 78% of the previous budget they haven't spent? I don't have any answers for you, but I believe these questions are worth asking. And when we head to the polls, we should be asking the people in Congress, how is this money being spent? Why are you asking us to put up so much money? Why are things becoming so expensive at home? And yet you want us to be accountable and good with our money, but then you turn around and you're not accountable and you're not good with our money. This is our money. Anyway, this is just information that I am uncovering. I believe that they are hiding this. They don't want you to know that they're asking for all of this money and there's no accounting or knowledge for where it's actually going. Have a good night.